The following Dysfunctional Gaming podcast was filmed in front of a live Twitch audience.
Hello, how's it going? Welcome in again. What's happening? Welcome to another
on the wrong side.
Welcome into another episode of Dysfunctional Gaming's Talking D&D. I am Thundercat0420. Over there is GM Patch Nasty, and we are here to talk to you about Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
This week we are going to be talking about the Barbarian subclasses. Last time we talked about the Monk subclasses.
We did. Or was it Dungeons?
We talked about Monk subclasses already, I meant. And okay. We built a dungeon last time. And if you want to find that stuff, you can catch it all on YouTube and
Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
We do have a new YouTube that we'll be uploading these to. It's an offshoot of our normal Dysfunctional Gaming YouTube, but we do have a link to our first video on it, and I'll be posting that in the chat right now.
Button.
So you can go there, and we will post it in the links section of our link tree as well.
Yes.
So yeah, there we go. You'll be able to catch all of our episodes being loaded up there from now on. It's going to take a little while to get everything over there, but we're going to do it.
We have quite a backlog. 50 episodes is a lot of disk space.
And then 11 episodes that are of War for Graxia that are going to be uploaded on there as well.
Well, good thing we only have we don't have episode 12 coming out on Friday. It's the part 2 of the side story. So that's at least a saving grace.
I mean, I still have to upload the side story, so it's not...
It's not a 4-hour episode as opposed to a 2-hour episode.
It turns two episodes into 4 hours, basically.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, so I guess, if you want to catch that, you can catch it on Spotify, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you want to catch your podcasts, and on YouTube, you can rewatch the VOD. So yeah, let's get into this week.
Sorry, I was watching you read the outline, and it just made me laugh. I was like, "That's where he is." Okay. So Barbarians, you've played one.
Yep.
You've
played multiple.
Which subclasses have you played? I know you played the Battle Rager,
Rager, Berserker, and the Storm Herald.
Okay, because I've played the Storm Herald and the Berserker. Prague was a Berserker one? Yeah. And then I've got 2 who's the Storm Herald. Haven't touched any new ones.
The Barbarian we talked about in an earlier episode when we were doing the classes, and we went through all of their different features for those classes. But we're going to strictly speak about their subclasses this week. So at 3rd level, you get your Primal Path. That's what their subclass is called, a Primal Path. And you get to enjoy some cool functions as a barbarian, depending on how you want to go about being that barbarian. If you want to just be a frenzy, crazy-ass barbarian, you're going to pick Berserker. If you want to be something that has a god that you follow, and maybe the Storm Herald would be a good one, or the Totem
Some of the
Warrior
later editions are pretty crazy. Like the Wild Magic one's pretty fun. I know Ossitator's the Beast one on the Friday campaign. The Zealot's kind of interesting, but we'll touch upon those later. I like to call the Path of Berserk probably the easiest one to play because it's not a lot to learn.
Yeah, there's not much to the Berserker when it comes to the features that you get as in that path, but they're they do a good job of keeping it dumbed down, but still you feel powerful. Like it's not hard to learn, but you still feel like you're useful.
I like to think that the Barbarian's probably the easiest thing to learn the action economy when you're playing in combat, because you always want to rage as a bonus action. You're always going to want to move closer. You're always going to hit something. And if it moves away from you, that's your reaction, or depending on later.
So starting off at third level,
there it is.
You get Frenzy. You can go into a frenzy when you rage. If you do so for the duration of your rage, you can make a single melee weapon attack as a bonus action on each of your turns after this one. When your rage ends, you suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
6 levels of exhaustion, you're dead.
Yeah, so basically, you frenzy, you bonus action rage. Say you want a frenzy rage, your next turn you would have your 3rd attack because you already used your bonus action to.
Well, 2nd at this
rage.
level.
Yeah. Right, 2nd attack, yes. At 6th level, you get Mindless Rage. Beginning at 6th level, you can't be charmed or frightened while raging. If you are charmed or frightened when you enter your rage, the effect is suspended for the duration of the rage. This is a good way to keep your DM from controlling your mind and using the Barbarian to destroy the rest of the team.
Mm-hmm. Been there, done that.
At 10th level, you get you can use your action to frighten someone within your menacing presence. It's called Intimidating Presence, sorry. When you do so, choose one creature that you can see within 30 feet of you. If the creature can see or hear you, it must succeed in a wisdom saving throw. Your DC is your 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your charisma bonus. Modifier. Or be frightened until the end of your next turn. On subsequent turns, you can use your action to extend the duration of this effect on the frightened creature until the end of your next turn. This effect ends if the creature ends its turn out of the line of sight or more than 60 feet from you. You just chase someone down the street. Just like keep frightening them as they run away from you.
Yeah, absolutely.
If this creature succeeds on a saving throw, you can't use it again on that creature for 24 hours.
Taking that dragon's terrifying presence to adding it to a player.
And at 14th level, you get your final part of your Berserker path. You get retaliation. When you take damage from a creature that is within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against that creature.
That's mean. That's mean to have at that late level, because that's like a plus 12 to hit. Probably going to hit everything. It's also the use of reaction. So high cost, high reward. But I like how it kind of introduces like a little auras and starts adding range to you towards the end of it, and then it gives you a different way to use your reaction at the last tier. On the flip side, the Totem Warrior, I don't think really does that. It does some other things. It immediately tosses you into spellcasting, because when you become a Totem Warrior, you become a Spirit Seeker. Yours is a path that seeks attunement with the natural world, giving you kinship with beasts. At 3rd level, when you adopt this path, you gain the ability to cast the Beast Sense and speak with animal spells, but only as rituals, as described in Chapter 10. It's kind of handy. You can know where animals are and talk to them. It can be crucial if you're planning things, but then again, animals only know as much as 4 intelligence will allow them.
Hey, Dara.
What up, Dara? And then this is where the Totem Warrior starts to get real interesting. So when you adopt the Totem Warrior path, you choose a totem spirit and gain its feature. You must make or acquire a physical totem object, an amulet or symbol adornment, fur, feathers, claws, teeth, bones that are incorporated in this item. At your option, you can also gain a minor physical attribute that are reminiscent to your totem spirit. You don't have to. You can if you want. Completely optional. But getting right into it, your totem animal might be an animal related to those listed here, but more appropriate to your homeland. For example, you could have a hawk or a vulture in place of an eagle. So the bear. While you're raging, you have resistance to all damage except psychic. The spirit of the bear makes you tough, even to stand up to any punishment. Very handy to have. The eagle, while you're ranging and you aren't wearing heavy armor, which you won't be, other creatures have disadvantage on opportunity attacks rolls against you, and you can use the dash action as a bonus action on your turn. The elk, while you're raging and you aren't wearing heavy armor, your walking speed increases by 15 feet, which is silly.
Well,
tiger.
The elk is in the is not in this book. Not in the
player's handbook?
The basic player's handbook.
So that must be what was added from the Skag.
Yep.
Yep, Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide right there.
The Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, yes. We'll have the elk and the tiger if you're looking for those when he says these.
Yes. So the tiger, while raging, you can add 10 feet to your long jump distance and 3 feet to your high jump. And the wolf and the bear are probably one of the two ones that I would normally pick. The wolf, while you're raging, your friends have advantage on melee attack rolls against any creature within 5 feet of you that is hostile to you. So you give people pack tactics. If you have the bear totem, you're resistant to everything while raging except for psychic damage. Very, very handy to have. Eagle makes you faster. The elk and the tiger, if you have the Skag books, are very handy. Having an extra 15 feet at level 3 is pretty nuts. But at level 6, you gain a magical benefit based on the totem animal of your choice. You can choose the same animal from the 3rd level or a different one. So here are the new ones that you can pick from at level 6. So the bear, you gain the might of the bear. Your carrying capacity, including maximum load and maximum lift, is doubled, and you have advantage on strength checks made to push, pull, lift, or break objects. Eagle, you gain the eyesight of an eagle. You can see up to 1 mile away with no difficulty. What? Able to discern even the fine details, though looking through something that more than 100 feet away from you. Additionally, dim light does not impose disadvantage on your perception checks. Crazy.
That's fucking crazy.
The
That's
elk.
insane.
They're still pretty mean at the elk. While they're mounted on foot, your travel pace
that's a good one too.
Mm-hmm. As in the travel pace is up to 10 companions while they're within 60 feet of you while you're not incapacitated. So that immediately makes long journeys less.
Yeah, it's like that ranger feat.
Yeah. Tiger, kind of straight and forward. You gain proficiency in 2 skills from the following list: athletics, acrobatics, stealth, and survival.
That's pretty sweet, though.
Mm-hmm. The wolf, however, is also very handy. You gain the hunting sensibilities of a wolf. You can track other creatures while traveling at a fast pace, and you can move stealthily while traveling at a normal pace. That, if you have one of those old school DMs, will be very, very handy. And then lastly, at level 14, you get more totemic attunement.
You get a thing at a level 10.
You get I'm sorry, I scrolled right down it. So level 10. Thank you. So Spirit Walker at level 10, you can cast Commune with Nature spell, but only as a ritual. When you do so, a spiritual version of one of the animals you choose from your totem spirit or aspect of the beast appears to you to convey the information you seek, which is pretty neat. So it's something that the DM will have to keep track of. But if you are always resistant to everything, I'll know it's a bear. But your final totemic attunement at level 14, these ones are going to be good night, Dora. Good stream, good night. Thank you very much for coming in. So, the bear. While you're raging, any creature within 5 feet of you that's hostile has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets other than you or another creature with this feature. And an enemy is immune to this effect if it can't see or hear you or it can't be frightened. Pretty handy. The eagle. While raging, you have a flying speed equal to your current walking speed. Mm-hmm. This benefit only works in short bursts. You fall if you end your turn in the air and nothing else is holding you aloft. So,
imagine taking the elk in the first one, you get that extra 15 feet, and then you take the eagle, and now you're like, I can fly 45 feet, or I can run 45 feet.
You have 45 feet of movement, you can see a fucking mile, and now you can fly 45 feet at a time. The elk. While raging, you can use a bonus action during your move to pass through the space of a larger or smaller creature. That creature must succeed on a strength saving throw DC 8th plus your strength plus proficiency, or be knocked prone and take bludgeoning damage equal to 1d12 plus your strength mod. Kind of handy. Tiger, while you're raging, if you move at least 20 feet in a straight line toward a large or smaller target right before making a melee weapon attack against it, you can use a bonus action to make an additional melee weapon attack against it. So at that point, you get a little bit of a frenzy, like a kind of a frenzied raid without having the bonus, the detriment of exhaustion.
Right.
And then lastly, the wolf, while you're raging, you can use a bonus action on your turn to knock a large or small creature prone when you hit it with a melee weapon attack. So no save, it's prone. Oh, I hit it? Yeah, it's on its ass.
The only thing that really the Sword Coast doesn't that adds in a little bit on there would be the Uthgarth totem. So if you wanted to like play part of the Uthgarth barbarian tribes, they have on there like the different things you can do to make it work for you. But those are the main. Those are the main player's handbook to paths that they have in the player's handbook. We do have the other new books that just came out that have some stuff.
I know the Skag introduced the elk and the tiger, and then they also introduced a dwarves only, unless you have a really, really cool DM who likes Dibble Dwarf Pwent. They introduced one of the subclasses that Kevin played.
AKA Thundercat. Yes.
Oh yeah, sorry. I apologize. I forget you have a name.
If they don't know who Kevin is.
Beardo McBeardface is also Kevin, aka Thundercat, aka the original Pancake.
AKA Big Boy in Little Shorts.
AKA Stretch.
Known as Large, literally the word axe idiot in Dwarvish, battle ragers are dwarf followers of the god of war and take path of the battle rager. They specialize in wearing bulky, spiked armor and throwing themselves into combat, striking with only their body itself and giving themselves over to the fury of battle. If you want to learn about battle ragers, read the R.A. Salvatore books with Thibbledorf Twent. He was probably my favorite character in the books. But yeah, check out those books, the Legend of Dritz books. He's probably one of the coolest characters ever. There's restrictions. They say dwarves only, but once again, anything can happen if you talk to your DM.
I thought it would be funny to have a battle rager gnome, especially a deep gnome.
I had a good backstory for it.
I didn't even care. It was like, this is a really good backstory. He's a tiny ball of spikes.
Yeah, it says your DM can lift this restriction to better suit the campaign. The restriction exists for the Forgotten Realms. It might not apply for your DM setting or your DM's version of the realm. Big deal.
I think racial restrictions on certain classes are fucking stupid. So,
but I can understand it because it's a dwarven thing. Like they created it like it was a dwarven thing that was created. Yeah. So at 3rd level, when you choose this path, you gain the ability to use spiked armor as a weapon. And then it says a little sidebar about the spiked armor. We'll talk about that in a minute. While you're wearing the spiked armor you are raging, you can use a bonus action to make one melee weapon attack with your armor spikes against a target within 5 feet of you. If the attack hits, the spikes deal 1d4 piercing damage. You use your strength modifier for the attack and damage rolls. Additionally, when you use the attack action to grapple a creature, the target takes 3 piercing damage if your grapple check succeeds. So in my head, there's not a lot of grapple classes.
Nope.
And it's a cool action. It's a cool thing you can do in battle, in combat, in skill checks. Like, it's stuff that you don't think that a lot of players don't do. And there's a lot of cool little feats that you can grab that help with grappling. There's a few different classes that have a grapple feature, but I think the Battle Rager is probably the one that makes most sense to do grapples. So talking about the spiked armor. Spiked armor is a rare type of medium armor made by dwarves. It consists of a leather coat and leggings covered with spikes, and are usually made of metal. It costs 75 gold pieces. It's 14 plus your dex modifier, max of 2, and your stealth is at disadvantage, and it weighs 45 pounds.
I hate that armor.
You made an armor for me.
I did because I was like, well, he's gonna lean into it.
Reckless Abandon. Beginning at 6th level, you can use your Reckless Attack while raging. You also gain temporary hit points equal to your Constitution modifier, minimum of 1. They vanish if any of them are left when your rage ends. At 10th level, you get your Battle Rager Charge. You can take the dash action as a bonus action while you are raging.
This is the one that I hate.
Spiked Retribution. Starting at 14th level, when a creature within 5 feet of you hits with the melee attack, the attacker takes 3 piercing damage if you are raging, aren't incapacitated, and are wearing spiked armor. Just an automatic 3 points of damage.
Ow! Ow! I'm
gonna hit you! Off!
Honestly, what would be funny is like that piercing damage wouldn't hurt him.
Say that again?
A Rakshasa?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because the only thing that can hurt him is piercing damage from a magical weapon from a lawful good character. So
well, you could just have your cleric cast magic weapon on your armor.
And hope and pray that you are a lawful good barbarian, which that's confusing all in itself. Because
I guess so. I mean, Tacklin was a lawful good barbarian.
Yes. That was the very Superman thing of him to do. He did have a couple, like, that's where lawful good lies with me, like lawful neutral and lawful good.
Yeah.
Like Batman, Superman. I'll beat the fuck out of you, but you're still going to jail. Lawful neutral. Ooh, you took a hostage. I can't do anything to you because I'm lawful good.
Yep.
Superman. Yeah, that last one, DMs everywhere. Once your Battle Rager gets to 14, remember that he will hurt you when you hurt him. Just remember it.
Most of your minions are going to be dead after like 2 punches.
Yep.
while
they're going to be dead from 3 hits.
Yeah.
2 of them are from him and 1 from yourself.
The guy that's like the leader won't die because he's like resistant to that kind of damage, but because it's not magical or whatever. You know what I mean?
All right. So we're into Xanathar's Guide to Everything, which has 3 that are probably my favorites.
I'm looking at the Path of the Ancestral Guardian.
That is that's a good one. It's an interesting one.
So before I say anything about the path itself, I want to read what Xanathar has to say about it.
Okay.
So ancestors are people who did the procreation thing to make more people before you were born? Like how many people? That's a lot of procreation thing. Ew, you're disgusting. Hey, Stag, what's up, man? Okay, so we're going to get into the Path of the Ancestral Guardian features here. Some barbarians hail from cultures that revere their ancestors. These tribes teach that the warriors of the past linger in the world as mighty spirits who can guide and protect the living. When a barbarian who follows this path rages, the barbarian contacts the spirit world and calls on these guardian spirits for aid. Barbarians who draw on their ancestral guardians can better fight to protect their tribes and their allies. In order to cement ties to their ancestral guardians, barbarians who follow the path over themselves in elaborate tattoos that can follow this path cover themselves in elaborate tattoos that celebrate their ancestors' deeds. These tattoos tell sagas of victories against terrible monsters and other fearsome rivals. There you go.
Good stuff right there. So at level 3, you will get Ancestral Protectors, Spectral Warriors that will appear when you rage. While you're raging, the first creature you hit with an attack on your turn becomes the target of the warriors, which hinders its attacks. Till the start of your next turn, that creature has disadvantage on any attack roll that isn't against you, and when the target hits a creature other than you, the creature has resistance to the damage dealt by the attack. The effect on the target ends early if your rage ends. Pretty handy.
That's cool.
At level 6, it gets a little bit better. At level 6, the Guardian Spirit aids. That aids you can provide supernatural protection to those you defend. If you are raging and another creature you can see within 30 feet of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to reduce that damage by 2d6. When you reach certain levels in this class, you can reduce the damage by more, 3d6 at 10 and 4d6 at 14.
That's cool. That's a cool one that like goes up as with the other, and you get other stuff too.
Little baby sneak attacks. Yeah, buddy. So this is where it starts to get interesting, because now this is where you start to be like almost cleric-y. So at 10th level, you gain the ability to consult with your ancestral spirits. When you do, you cast the augury or clairvoyant spell without using spell slot or material components. Rather than creating a spherical sentry, this use of clairvoyance invisibly summons one of your ancestral spirits to the chosen location. Wisdom is the spellcasting ability for these spells. After you cast this spell in this way, you can't use this feature again until after you finish a short rest. So clairvoyance, you create a sensor in a location familiar to you hasn't been placed. It lasts up to 10 minutes. So you can set it up somewheres and eavesdrop in on a conversation. Kind of. Augury is a different spell. It can kind of lie to you if it wants. So, be risky. And lastly, at 14th level, your ancestral spirits grow powerful enough to retaliate. When you use your spirit shield, to reduce the damage of an attack, the attacker takes the amount of force damage equal to the damage that your spirit shield prevents. I forgot what it was called. It is called Spirit Shield at level 6. So at level 14, your level 6 ability that now reduces 4d6 amount of damage now does that amount of damage to the attacker, which is dope.
Very cool.
But then you're on to the barbarians that I like. It's kind of the reason why I built to being a Warforged.
He's a Storm Herald, right?
He is.
So I'm going to let you take Storm Herald because I actually played the Zealot. That was what Kandu was at the end.
Yes, he was.
So that one's a fun one. So I'll go with the Zealot. Yeah. So if you want to go ahead, go ahead.
I'd love to. So all barbarians harbor a fury within. Their rage grants them superior strength, durability, and speed. Barbarians who follow the path of the Storm Herald learn to transform that rage into a mantle of primal magic, which swirls around them. When in a fury, a barbarian of this path taps into the forces of nature to create powerful magical effects. Storm Heralds are typically elite champions who train alongside druids, rangers, and others sworn to protect nature. Other Storm Heralds hone their craft in lodges and regions racked by storms, in the frozen reaches of the world's end, or in the hottest deserts. So the first thing you would get at level 3 is you emanate a stormy magical aura while you rage, called your Storm Aura. It is a 10-foot aura that extends 10 feet from you in every direction, but not through total cover. Your aura has an effect that activates when you rage, and you can activate the effect again and on each of your turns as a bonus action. So you would choose desert, sea, or tundra. Your aura's effect depends on that chosen environment, as detailed below. You can change your environment whenever you gain a level in this class, which I have yet to do. If your auras require a saving throw, the DC equals 8 plus proficiency plus your constitution modifier. So, the sea, the reason why I took that for 2 was he was an anchor. He was a literal Warforged who was deactivated, tied to a rope, thrown to the bottom of a boat, and that's why I went with the sea. So when this effect is activated, you can choose one other creature other you can see in your aura. Target must make a dex save throw. The target takes 1d6 lightning damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. When you reach certain levels in this class, it increases to 2d6 at 10, 3d6 at 15, and 4d6 at 20. The Desert Aura, when this effect is activated, all other creatures in your aura take 2 fire damage each. No saves, you just take it, and it's anybody. So you would take 2 damage, 3 at level 5, 4 at level 10, 5 at level 15, and then 6 at level 20. It's pretty mean. The Tundra one's kind of interesting. When the effect is activated, each creature of your choice in your aura gains 2 temporary hit points, and as icy spirits inure it to suffering. The temporary hit points increase when you reach certain levels in this class: 3 at 5, 4 at 10, 5 at 15, and 6 at 20. So it's kind of a interesting trade-off with each of the circles. I got to scroll past the Path of the Zealot. So now we are on to the Storm Soul. At 6th level, the Storm grants you benefits which, when your aura is not active, these benefits are based on your environment you chose for your Storm aura. So you could change it here, or you could stick with it now. So with the Desert, you gain resistance to fire damage, and you don't suffer the effects of extreme heat as described in the Dungeons Mastered Guide. Thundercat knows all about that. Moreover, as an action, you can touch a flammable object that isn't being worn or carried by anyone else and set it on fire. Kinda neat. You're your own little tinderbox. The Sea, you gain resistance to lightning damage and you can breathe underwater. You also now have a swimming speed of 30 feet. Interesting stuff. The Tundra, you gain resistance to cold damage and you don't suffer the effects of extreme cold as described in the Dungeons Master's Guide. Moreover, as an action, you can touch water and turn a 5-foot cube of it into ice, which melts after a minute. The action fails if a creature is in the cube. So you can't freeze things in water, but you can freeze water. You can make ice cubes.
Maybe you could walk across water.
Yeah, for a minute. 10th level, Shielding Storm. At 10th level, you learn to use your mastery of the storm to protect others. Each creature of your choice has damage resistance you gain from the Storm Soul feature while the creature is in your Storm aura. So anybody that's within 10 feet of you now also has that resistance to either fire, cold, or lightning damage.
On the top of the page, Xanathar wrote something.
Oh, go ahead.
You know one of the great benefits of living underground? No weather. Don't mess this up for me.
Oh, that's good. I like that. So the last one, the Path of the Storm Herald, you get the Raging Storm. At 14th level, the power of your storm you channel grows mightier, lashing out at your foes. The effect is based on your environment you chose for your storm aura. Desert. Immediately after a creature in your aura hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to force that creature to make a dex saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes fire damage equal to half your barbarian level. So it would take the fire damage from being in your aura. If it hits you, it can then take half more fire damage. The Sea. When you hit a creature on your aura with an attack, you can use a reaction to force that creature to make a strength save. On a failed save, the creature is knocked prone as if stuck by a wave. And then lastly, with the Tundra, whenever the effect of your storm aura is activated, you can choose one creature you see within the aura. Creature must succeed on a strength save, or its speed is reduced to 0 until the start of your next turn as magical frost covers it. So late, I like the Tundra. I really do, because having something with 0 speed, if it starts my turn, it starts my turn in my aura, I'd be like, no, you're not going anywhere until the end of my next turn, and then crack my knuckles and begin to go apeshit on it. But I like how I have 2 with the Sea, being able to swim, being able to breathe underwater, or not having to breathe underwater, resistance to lightning damage, and doing a little static shock Peter Griffin. Zap. It's kind of fun. But we also have what Can Do was, which was, at the end, the Path of the Zealot.
Yeah, so my Battle Rager turned into a Path of the Zealot Barbarian after being reincarnated like 3 times. He died like 4 times, whatever. But he had like a whole like arc of meeting like the gods and figuring out what he should do, and then he came back as a Path of the Zealot. Some deities inspire their followers to pitch themselves into a ferocious battle fury. These barbarians are zealots, warriors who channel their rage into powerful displays of divine power. A variety of gods across the worlds of D&D inspire their followers to embrace this path. Tempest from the Forgotten Realms, Hextor from Urinthal, or Greyhawk. I'm sorry, Hextor and Urinthal of Greyhawk, and are all prime examples. In general, the gods who aspire zealots are deities of combat, destruction, and violence. Not all are evil, but few are good. At 3rd level, you get Divine Fury. You can channel Divine Fury into your weapon strikes while you're raging. The first creature you hit on each of your turns with a weapon attack takes an extra damage equal to 1d6 plus half your barbarian level. The extra damage is necrotic or radiant. You choose the type of damage when you gain this feature. So you could, that's basically them being like, do you want to be a good guy? You want to be a bad guy right away? Like, do you want to be a bad barbarian and do necrotic? You want to be a good Warrior of the Gods. At 3rd level, your soul is marked for endless battle. If a spell such as Raise Dead has the sole effect of restoring you to life, but not undeath, the caster doesn't need material components to cast the spell on you. So basically, the gods are like, no, you're coming back to life. Like, the gods like, no, you don't need to worry about this.
You got shit to do.
Yeah, we're gonna use you to the fullest extent.
You got people to kill. That doesn't matter if you're good or evil. That is why you're fueled by us.
Yes. At 6th level, you get Fanatical Focus. The divine power that fuels your rage can protect you. If you fail a saving throw while raging, you can re-roll it, and you must use the new roll. You can use this ability only once per rage. That's important. At 10th level, you get Zealous Presence. You learn to channel divine power to inspire zealotry in others. As a bonus action, you unleash a battle cry infused with divine energy. Up to 10 other creatures of your choice within 60 feet of you that can hear you gain advantage on attack rolls and saving throws until the start of your next turn. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. I used that a few times, not a lot, but I used it a few times. I know Ashley Johnson used it a lot as
Yasha,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 14th level, Rage Beyond Death. Beginning at 14th level, the divine power that fuels your rage allows you to shrug off fatal blows. While you're raging, having 0 hit points doesn't knock you unconscious. You still must make death saving throws, and you suffer the normal effects of taking damage while at 0 hit points. However, if you would die due to failing death saving throws, you don't die until your rage ends, and you die then only if you have 0 hit points. So, yeah. You can continue to take
You're the fucking
damage
Terminator.
and just keep going until you finish raging.
You're the Juggernaut, bitch.
The cool thing about that, though, is as a barbarian, I think it was 15th level, you could turn your rage on and off. Mm-hmm. So you could literally just be like a ball of death running around still raging because you didn't want to shut it off.
Yep. The only time your rage is so fierce that it only ends if you fall unconscious or choose to end it at 15th level, which is fucking gnarly. That's what they got for Xanathar's guide to all
that's so
everything.
Good.
But they did add 2 more in the Tasha's Cauldron of everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to start off with something that's very, very near and dear to my heart, which is wild magic. The second one in the 2 of them, many places in the multiverse are abound with beauty, intense emotion, and rampant magic. The Feywild, the upper planes, and other realms of supernatural power radiate with such forces and can profoundly influence people. As folk of deep feeling, barbarians are especially susceptible to these wild influences, with some barbarians being transformed by the magic. These magic-suffused barbarians walk the path of wild magic. Elf, tiefling, Aasimar, and Ganassi barbarians often seek this path, eager to manifest the otherworldly magic of their ancestors. So, you get at level 3 magical awareness. As an action, you can open your awareness to the presence of concentrated magic until the end of your turn. You know the location of any spell or magic item within 60 feet of you that isn't behind total cover. When you sense a spell, you learn of which school of magic it belongs to. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. So at that point, I think it's 2. And you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Here's where shit gets fucking nutty. The Wild Surge. This is where Griff has some fun on the Mandate campaigns. The magical energy rolling inside you sometimes erupts from you. When you enter a rage, roll on the wild magic table to determine the magical effect produced. If the effect requires a saving throw, the DC equals 8 plus your proficiency plus your con. So, it's a D8. So on a 1, shadowy tendrils lash around you. Each creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you must succeed on a con save or take 1d12 necrotic damage. you also gain 1d12 temporary hit points. 2. You teleport up to 30 feet to an occupied space you can see, and until your rage ends, you can use this effect again on each of your turns as a bonus action.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. This is probably one of my favorites. An intangible spirit that looks like a flump or a pixie, your choice, appears within 5 feet of one creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you. At the end of the current turn, the spirit explodes, and each creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on a dex save or take 1d6 force damage. Until your rage ends, you can use this effect again, summoning another spirit on each of your turns as a bonus action.
So
yeah.
I think it would be funny if the DM took the reins on that and said every time you used it, what it was. Only because I feel like if you were to throw a flump and you picked flump and you threw one next to one of your party members, they would know next time you threw a flump at someone that they probably should get out of there. So if the DM creates it to make it like, oh, it's a flump this time. Oh, next week it's a little whatever. It's a gnome. Like it's like an illusion of a gnome or something.
It's going to take me 2 weeks to realize that when the barbarian summons anything, it's going to explode.
Get away from it. Yeah.
4. Magic confuses one weapon of your choice that you are holding. Until your rage ends, the weapon's damage type changes to force, and it gains the light and thrown properties with the normal range of 20 feet and a long range of 60. If the weapon leaves your hand, the weapon reappears in your hand at the end of the current turn. Crazy. So a great axe with the light and thrown properties. Ha! I throw the axe, and it comes back!
And it's friggin' Thor.
Yeah. When a creature hits you with an attack roll, if you roll a 5, before your rage ends, the creature takes 1d6 force damage as magic lashes out in retribution. A 6, nice. Until your rage ends. You are surrounded by multicolored protective lights. You gain a +1 to your AC, and while within 10 feet of you, your allies gain the same bonus. Number 7. Flowers and vines temporarily grow around you. Until your rage ends, the ground around you with 15 feet is difficult terrain for your enemies. 8. A bolt of light shoots from your chest. Another creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you must succeed on a con save or take 1d6 radiant damage and be blinded until the start of your next turn. Until your rage ends, you can use this effect on each of your turns as a bonus action. So, what Griff has done is he's literally...
I feel like that's not enough.
I feel like there could be more.
I feel like you should do a 12 or maybe even just a d20.
A d20. A d20 would be fine. But it's more for ease. Like, I noticed that Griff has never rolled that dice. He always said, Rob, roll this. Because he doesn't want to know. He just wants to know the effects at that point. It could use more, but where it's at, it's kind of fine. It's kind of balanced. You don't have anything that's overpowered. And you don't cast Fireball fucking centered on yourself. At level 6, you get Bolstering Magic. You can harness your wild magic to bolster yourself or a companion. As an action, you can touch one creature, which can be yourself, and confer one of the following benefits of your choice to that creature. For 10 minutes, the creature can roll a d3 whenever making an attack roll or ability check and add the number rolled to a d20. The next one, roll a d3. The creature gains one expended spell slot that the level of which equals the number rolled or lower. Once a creature has received this benefit, the creature can't receive it until after a long rest. You can use this number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you begin all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So that one makes you a perfect fit for a wizard bodyguard. Be like, oh yeah, okay, here's a 3rd level spell slot back. Or here's a 1st level. Here's a magic missile that can possibly save us. 10th level. The Unstable Backlash. When you are imperiled during your rage, the magic within you can lash out. Immediately after you take damage or fail a saving throw while raging, you can use your reaction to roll on the wild magic table and immediately produce the effect rolled. This effect replaces your current wild magic effect.
That's cool.
And the last thing, which is Controlled Surge. Whenever you roll on the wild magic table, you can roll the die twice and choose which of the 2 effects to unleash. If you roll the same number on both dies, you can ignore the number and choose any effect on the table.
That's cool.
It turns it into Monopoly. Like, oh, I got doubles. I'm going to teleport 30 feet every bonus action. Yay, yay, yay. It's a fun little class. It helps pair with some of your magic users for your Barbarian and makes them a kind of a little wombo combo.
You want to know what Tasha has to say about the Path of the Wild magic?
I do.
I don't recommend letting magic take the reins, but I'm not your mom. Live deliciously.
Thank you, Tasha.
Path of the Beast.
All right.
Our friend
Closing
Tater
out with
playing.
Tater.
Yeah.
That's right.
Duke Cannon is a Path of the Beast barbarian as of right now. He is a barbarian who walks the path of the beast, draw their rage from the bestial spark burning within their souls. That beast bursts forth in the throes of rage, physically transforming the barbarian. Such a barbarian might be inhabited by a primal spirit or be descended from shapeshifters. You can choose the origin of your feral might or determine it by rolling on the Origin of the Beast table. So, Origin of the Beast table, D4. One of your parents is a lycanthrope and you've inherited some of their curse. You are descended from an archdruid and inherited the ability to partially change shape. A Fey spirit gifted you the ability to adopt different bestial aspects. An ancient animal spirit dwells within you, allowing you to walk this path. At 3rd level, you get Form of the Beast. When you enter your rage, you can transform, revealing the bestial power within you. Until the rage ends, you manifest Natural Weapon. It counts as a simple melee weapon for you, and you add your strength modifier to the attack and damage rolls when you attack with it as normal. You choose the weapon's form each time you rage, which is cool. You get to figure out what you want to do. You get Bite, Claws, and Tail. Bite. Your mouth transforms into a bestial muzzle of great mandibles, your choice. It deals 1d8 piercing damage on a hit. Once on each of your turns when you damage a creature with this bite, you regain a number of hit points equal to your proficiency bonus, provided you have less than half your hit points when you hit. Claws. Each of your hands transforms into a claw, which you can use as a weapon if it's empty. It deals 1d6 slashing damage on a hit. Once on each of your turns when you attack with a claw using the attack action, you can make one additional claw attack as part of the same action. Tail.
Not bad.
You grow a lashing spiny tail. It deals 1d8 piercing damage on a hit and has the reach property. If a creature you can see within 10 feet of you hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to swipe your tail and roll a d8, applying a bonus to your AC equal to the number rolled, potentially causing the attack to miss you. You just like swipe it away,
always
basically.
Picking tail. Always picking tail. Every time.
Yeah. Unless you want some HP back.
Nope.
Bestial Soul. Bestial Soul, 6th level Path of the Beast feature. The feral power within you increases, causing the natural weapon of your form of the beast to count as a magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage. You can also alter your form to help you adapt to your surroundings. When you finish a short or long rest, choose one of the following benefits, which lasts until you finish your next short or long rest. You gain a swimming speed equal to your walking speed, and you can breathe underwater. You gain a climbing speed equal to your walking speed, and you can climb difficult surfaces, including upside down on ceilings, without needing to make an ability check. Fight or climb, basically. When you jump, you can make a strength athletics check and extend your jump by a number of feet equal to your check's total. Jesus. You can make this special check only once per turn.
Crazy.
You could already jump like 8 feet or 10 feet, and then you roll a d20, you're jumping like 30 feet. That's insane.
No, you're rolling an athletics check. So
yeah,
you're
but I mean,
adding.
I'm just saying a 20 is just, that's insane. At 10th level, you get Infectious Fury. When you hit a creature with your natural weapons while you are raging, the beast within you can curse your target with rabid fury. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. DC is equal 8 plus your constitution mod plus your proficiency bonus, or suffer one of the following effects. Your choice. The target must use its reaction to make a melee attack against another creature of your choice that you can see. The target takes 2d12 psychic damage. Jesus. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
Nutty.
14th level. You get Call of the Hunt. The beast within you grows so powerful that you can spread its ferocity to others and gain resilience from them joining your hunt. When you enter your rage, you can choose a number of other willing creatures that you can see within 30 feet of you, equal to your Constitution modifier, minimum of 1 creature. You gain 5 temporary hit points for each creature that accepts this feature. Until rage ends, the chosen creatures can use the following benefit once on each of their turns. When the creature hits a target with an attack roll and deals damage to it, the creature can roll a d6 and gain a bonus to damage equal to that number rolled. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you gain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
Crazy.
This is what Tasha has to say about the Path of the Beast. You have to respect anyone who lets their inner beast out for a brisk jog and healthy throat ripping.
Short and sweet and to the point. We like it.
That's your shit right there.
Boom. Nothing added in Fitzbands for this class. Sorry, guys. Nothing. Nope. You'd think they would add some kind of crazy fucking barbarian dragon to it, but they didn't.
Oh. Ow. All right. Well, that's what we got this week.
Rules, home, Dungeon Master.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yes. Why can't I go to the book? I want to see where they added the next one so I can be like, this is what we should talk about the next time. I can't find it. Grah.
All right.
Yes, go on.
What do we got going on this week for Dysfunctional Gaming?
Friday is the thrilling conclusion of the War for Garaxia side story, aka Sal likes to push buttons before he knows what buttons do and sends people to places they shouldn't go. That starts around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this Twitch channel. If you want to catch up and figure out what I'm talking about, one of the lovely YouTube channels will have that episode, and you should catch that on Friday. Shake your head if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Yes, I am right. Yes,
could be
check
up there
that out
on Friday morning.
I don't know which YouTube page. It's either Dysfunctional D&D or Dysfunctional Gaming. So either
if I be on
Google
Dysfunctional Gaming, because I have to upload all the other ones so I can have them in order, because otherwise I'll go crazy.
There you go. So Google Zombo Force, click the first thing you see because that's us, and then click all through the videos. It'll be the first one up there. And then Saturday is team night. Talk more about that.
Starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, between 9 and 10. Don't know what we're going to do. Don't know who's going to be there, but it's team night. Yay.
Yay, team
Yay.
night.
Next week, we're here on Tuesday. Do you have anything going on this week?
This week, I'm probably going to be streaming either. I stream after I get out of work if I'm not crazy, or if the fiance is not doing homework because I'm loud.
Okay.
So, follow me, Twitch, at GM Patchmaster, Twitter, Twitch, all the places. If you see the mustache and hair, it's me. But as of late, I've been playing a lot of Destiny.
Nice. I'll be back tomorrow streaming. Probably do some Warzone, maybe some Apex, and also some Retro. I'm going to try to do a little bit of each. Keep it variety.
Funny story. So I tried to play NHL 94 just to score a goal. Just to be like, all right, either your shit's broken or my shit's broken. And I realized about into overtime that I was the Edmonton Oilers taking on the Kings. And I went, fuck, I'm never going to score a goal. And then literally as soon as I said it, Gretzky with the one-timer on. God damn it, now I know what I'm doing. Didn't get an achievement, so I don't know if it works. I have to try it again.
You have to try again. All right, okay.
I was like, fuck you.
Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow and Sunday streaming. Maybe Thursday night, who knows? I got a lot of shit going on this week. We'll see what happens.
What are we talking about next week?
Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on Patreon. Check us out on Discord. Check us out on TikTok. Check us out on Hover. Check us out on all of the social media platforms. Please, Dysfunctional Gaming. If you see this cool squid guy right here, that guy right there. Yeah, this guy right there.
That guy?
Yes, that one right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, the camera wants to zoom in on it.
So go give us a follow there if you can. We'd love to see you. Talk to us. Send us information if you have anything you want to talk about on D&D. We'll bring it up. Let's go. Otherwise, next week we're gonna build some NPCs, I guess.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Do an NPC builder next week.
Quick fire NPCs, like how? I'm asking the question now. How in depth?
Well, we'll do a couple regular ones. We'll do a couple full on. Yeah. We'll see how long it takes to do a couple, and if we have to make a couple more, we'll go for it.
All right.
Just some ideas. We'll throw some stuff out there. Maybe even something you can throw into your game at home. Who knows? But let's find someone to go over to while we head to the ending screen. Is Randall here?
No, he's on strike. He's upset because he saw the new Toy Story Buzz Lightyear trailer and it didn't have any Randy Newman, and he is very upset about that. So yeah, that was his morning. He saw that and went, those fucking Pixar sons of bitches. They got rid of Buzz Lightyear's face and they didn't even want Randy to do the little boo-ba-doo. I will go sailing. No more. They're not even that for the Buzz Lightyear almost live action movie. Where are we gonna go? Who's live? What are we looking
We're gonna go to I Stagnate.
We're going to Stagnate.
He's playing Minecraft. We'll go over there. Why not? Show him some love.
Minecraft.
All right, Randy. Thanks for coming out.
Give Randy money for Pixar.
I hope everyone has a great night. Thanks for being here. We love you all, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
See you next Tuesday.